In this video, we're going to make a box using the online version of SketchUp for schools. So if you're not already there, go to edu.sketchup.com and we're going to start a new file using a simple template. Get rid of the goofy looking guy here. Hey, if that's you from Google, I'm really sorry. I don't mean to offend you. Okay, we're going to make a box, which means we need 6 individual groups. I'm going to do this in 2 parts. We'll do a simple box with the very basic pieces, and then I'll show you a couple of ways you can up your game just a little bit. As always, we're going to use the RPG format to do this, rectangle push group. So I'm going to make a rectangle. I like to start from the origin, that's good practice. And we'll just go click, drag, click, and we'll make it 6 by 4. So I'll type 6,4 on the keyboard, and that will be right there. And then we'll do a push, click, drag, click, and let's make this a 1/2 inch thick. Use the space bar to get your select tool. That's this one right here. And I'm going to triple click that. Right click and make a group. All right, there is one side of 6. Now it's really important that this gets grouped before you go to the next step. If you start making another rectangle, you'll have to undo and go back. There's some other ways to do it, but trust me, it's just way easier this way. All right, let's make a front. We'll go a rectangle. I want to start at this corner. And this part's tricky because right now it wants to trace on that face of the box. But if I orbit up just a little bit, now it turns green. And sometimes if I can just get that locked in there, just like that, on the green plane, I'm going to click, and I'm going to type 6, let's go 2.5 for my side. Okay, so it's locked into that corner already. I don't even need to worry about I don't need to worry about it. There we go. I'm not going to edit this, so just deal with my mistakes here. All right, RPG. So I have a rectangle, push, select that face. And I can go like way the heck out here and simply type 0.5 and it's going to land it right there. Spacebar, a triple click, and notice it doesn't select these down here. If you triple click this and it selects that base piece, you haven't grouped the base yet and you have to go back. Right click and make group. So there's my front. And then for the back, same thing. We're going to go rectangle. And I've got the green right there. I can see that it's going the right direction, so I'll just click it. We'll type 6, 2.5 again. Looks about right. P for push. I can click, I can drag it right on through that if I want, or I can go like this, as long as I go the right direction, and type 0.5, or any thickness you want. Spacebar, and triple click, and make a group. Okay, it gets a little bit easier from here because now I have corners I can work from. So for the side, I want to go to the inside. Let me show you the wrong way first, and then we'll do it the right way. So if I go from here to here, corner to corner, and it snaps to those corners, you can see the purple dots telling me that it's locked at that corner. Spacebar, P for push, and 0.5. So that is a side. It does cover the side of that, but you can see where those 2 pieces are actually occupying the same space. So this wouldn't work in woodworking, and it's not going to work in CAD. So we're going to go ahead and just undo all of that. Let's go back to rectangle. I want to do this corner to this corner. And since those 2 points are planar, I don't even need to worry about paying attention to the guidelines there. Right there, push, 0.5, spacebar, 3 clicks, and right click and make group. Remember on the Chromebooks, to do a right click, you're going to do a 2-finger tap on the trackpad to get that context menu. Okay, so click outside of there just to deselect everything. One more time, rectangle, corner to corner, P for push, type 0.5, spacebar, triple click, and make group. Just get in the habit, just burn it into your head. Rectangle, push, group, rectangle, push, group. Okay, my box has 6 pieces of wood. Therefore, I need to make sure that I've got 6 individual groups, and I can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more still. So let's make the top. Rectangle. Top's going to go from this corner to this corner. And you can see where it has that weird shading right there. What it's showing me is that there's 2 planes coexisting right now. But if we go to a push, I can go up and type 0.5, spacebar, triple click, make a group. Okay, so that right there, that is your first box. That's passing. If you do it just like that, it's exactly what you need to do. You can make it any size you want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come through your model and I'm going to start hiding pieces one at a time and looking to make sure that there's nothing overlapping. For example, you know, if I see, let's take this and move it just like 1/16 or so that way, right? If I see any gaps or overlaps, that's going to be a deduction right there. We want them to be perfect. So to bring those all back, let's bring our view menu up over here. And I want to view all of the things that I hid right there. So let's pause right there. There's your passing box. 6 sides, 6 components, 6 groups, ready to go. Now let's say, you know, if I make my box, I don't want that lid sloshing around all there. I actually want that to have like a ledge. We call that a rabbet. So let's move this down 0.25. And again, you saw how I took it way too far and then I set my dimension. So that's about where I want it to sit. But when I look at this, if I hide this piece right here, I can see that it didn't cut that top board. We want it to cut. So there's a tool over here. Now again, we're getting into advanced stuff now. Well, advanced for this assignment. I'm going to make you do it for real later. Over here in your tool panel, you have your solid tools. And we want to do the one that says trim. So we want to use this tool to trim that piece. Let's stop right there and show you what it did. So right off the bat, that line just disappeared. And if I take this and hide it, you can now see that top piece has a cut in it that corresponds with that side panel. That's called a rabbet. Let's go ahead and finish all of these. We'll go back to our trim tool. So this is our trim, this is our target, our tool, and it says 2 right there. So it's going to keep using this piece to trim. So I have to hit the escape key. So my cursor says 1. So there's my tool, there's my target. I need to hit the escape key one more time. There's my tool, there's my target. And now, when I hide these side pieces, I was able to make some more complicated geometry on the top without having to draw anything extra, just telling it to simply intersect with what it had. So let's do the same thing to the bottom. We would normally have a piece that looks just like this on the bottom, only it would be up inside. So I'm going to take that bottom piece. I'm actually going to delete that. And I'm going to copy the top one and move it down. There's 2 ways to do that. We've done a copy paste before. Let me show you a trick in SketchUp that you can do. So if I type M for move, that brings my move command and allow me to move a piece around. But if I hit the control key, if I just press it once and let it go, it's going to put it into a copy mode. So I can now grab this and I'm going to take it so that this corner lines up with that corner. You can see that it left the top piece behind and now I have a piece on the bottom. Now I'm going to modify that because you can see that if I tried to use that for a bottom piece, it would actually cut out all of these. So we're going to do a little modification here. Let's hide these side pieces for a minute. And I want to make some adjustments to this. So I can't edit anything right now because it's grouped. But if I double click that, it now allows me to edit that group. And what I want to do is I want to make each one of these edges 1/4 of an inch shorter. So I can just do that with the push-pull command. P for push. I'm going to push that in 0.25. Space bar to reselect a new edge. P for push. Move that in 0.25. Remember, it's click, drag, click, type the dimension. So space bar, select, P for push, click, drag, click, 0.25, enter. And notice on the bar down here, it actually said 1/4. It converted it to a fraction for me. So select the face, push, pull, click, drag, click, 0.25, enter. And if I click outside of that, it deselects that. And if I look up, you can see that these now have 2 different shapes. This one has 1/2 of an inch of rabbet. This one only has 1/4. Now we bring our sides back in. It looks correct, but what I don't see, if I hide this piece, I should see a groove in there. It's called a dado. So we need to put that in there. And one more time, we're going to use our solid tools. We use our trim tool. So there's my tool, there's my target, escape, click on the tool, click on the target, hit escape, click on the tool, click on the target, hit escape, and escape puts me back. That number 1 tells me that it wants me to choose the tool. Click on the tool, click on the target, and escape. And now, if I go spacebar, and here's a trick. Whenever you get lost in SketchUp, I just hit escape once to like stop whatever I'm doing, and then spacebar brings me to my edit tool. So escape space is kind of your fallback panic button. Now, if I hide this bottom piece, you can see where I put in that groove. So this is how we would make a box in class. And we could take it even a step farther. We could put some finger joints on this. Let's put those back. And to do that, I'm going to do a, I was going to do a component, but I don't want to do a rotate. Let's just do one side of a finger joint so we can look at that. So I'm going to double click on this to edit it. And I'm going to use the tape measure tool, that's T, and I'm just going to bring down a couple of lines here. 0.5, click on the line, come down, 0.5, enter, 0.5, 0.5. That gives me some guidelines to work with. And then I can select this. So we want to make a couple of finger joints here. So let's go a line here to here, and make sure when you're doing this, you're in the edit mode. If you draw the lines and you haven't double clicked this box, your edit won't go right. So if I go out here, you can see how it looks different. If I start drawing a line, but it's not on this, it won't be part of that component. So I have to double click on that group. I'm gonna make a couple lines here. And then we want to extend out some finger joints. So I'll use the push command. And an easy way, if you've already got a reference plane, I can drag this out. And if I just hold on this edge right here, why are we not lining up to that edge right there? Well, that's strange. When in doubt, hit escape and try again. There we go. So on this edge right there, so it's going to line up that finger joint with that edge. I can bring that out. I can either line it up with this face or with this face. Right there. Spacebar takes me out of my push-pull mode. Click once like on the outside, and then we go to view all. And again, now I've got this end board protruding into my face, but again, we use our solid tools. Use the trim tool, and this is my tool, this is my target. Spacebar, and step out of there. So now we can see that we've got finger joints, and if I hide this piece, I've now put finger joints into the adjoining piece. And we could do that all the way around the box. I'll stop right here though. So in review, basic box, rectangle, push, group, make 6 sides with no overlaps, no gaps. If you're going for that A+, look for a way to put a creative joint in there. Use a rabbet like we did on the top. And if you want to go even a step farther, use a dado like we did on the bottom. When you're done, I've got all these guides in here. In my view menu, I can click delete all guides. And somewhere over here, you also have a materials panel. There it is right there. And you've got a whole slew of materials that you can use. So we can just take and we can color it different colors. Now I'm just being extra. Start playing around. I'm as bad as you guys. I did that color already. And what else can we do? We'll do that one right there. All right, there's my goofy colored box. And just, again, spacebar to get out of it. All right, I'll stop talking now. This has been How to Build a Box Using SketchUp. Talk to you guys later.